7 types of fats in the body. 7 iba't ibang uri ng taba sa katawan. Paano ito paramihin o paano ito i-lessen, whether it is a good fat or a bad fat. So number 1 is essential fats. So what are essential fats? Ito yung mga fats na kailangan natin sa ating katawan. Kung wala tayo ng mga essential fats na ito, hindi tayo mabubuhay. Ano-ano yung mga essential fats na yon? Yung ating utak, it's made of fats. Yung ating nerves, yung ating adrenal glands, yung ating ovaries, yung ating testosterone, yung ating hormones sa katawan, those are mostly made up of a lot of fats. So, meron tayong mga essential fats. In our reproductive organs, meron dyan, especially sa kababaihan, maraming essential fats dyan, including the ones in our breast. Those are essential fats. So, kailangan natin na meron talagang tagaba. This is, at this point, alam na natin na hindi pwede na hindi tayo kumain ng taba. Because marami ngang parts sa ating katawan na hindi mabubuhay nang walang taba. So, those are essential fats, and those essential fats are also needed para tayo ay mas madaling gumaling, mas madaling mag-heal yung ating cellular damage, because yung every cell in our body is covered by lipid bilayer. So, 2 layer ng taba. Ganun po ka-importante yung taba sa ating katawan. So, this essential fat is a good fat. Number 2 would be the brown fats. The brown fats is a thermogenic fats. Ito yung nagpo-produce ng heat. Hindi sila na-break down, hindi sila lumiliit. Pero, depende rin kung saan tayo nakatira. So, for us here in the tropics, hindi tayo masyadong mataas sa brown fats. Kasi nga, hindi naman maginaw yung ating area, ating climate. Whereas for those living in, say, for example, Alaska or Canada, mas pataas yung kanilang brown fat component. Yung mga babies, yung bagong panganak, it's already a given na yung ratio ng kanilang brown fat to white fat is more yung brown fats kasi nagte-thermoregulate pa sila. Hindi pa sila well adapted sa outside world kasi nga sanay silang pinapainit lang sila sa body fat ng kanilang mommy while nasa tummy pa sila. So, brown fat is good for fat burning in production for the purpose of production of heat to maintain yung thermal core body temperature natin. Hindi yung dinadagnat ha, pero yung tamang-tama lang, 36 to 37.5 of core body temperature. So, meron din, kung merong brown fats, meron din white fats. So, yung white fats, it can actually be also subcategorized as our another types of fat, which is a subcutaneous fat. But generally, white fat is a type of storage fats. Ito yung ating excess energy, excess carbohydrates, excess fats na kinakain, excess protein na kinakain, extrang lahat na hindi natin ginagamit, it will be stored as white fats. This one contains or largely, ito yung mga bulk ng karamihang nagpapataba sa atin kung tingnan. Because these fats are easily converted into energy kapag kailangan natin ito in times of fasting or even starvation. Ito yung pinaka savings natin when it comes to energy. That's why yung mga ninuno natin noon for the longest time, they were able to survive like days and even weeks na walang pagkain because of this white fats. In fact, kahit nga yung average looking person is considered to have about 40 to 49, up to 6 to 7 weeks ng allowable days na kaya niya mabuhay nang wala siyang kinakain energy or calories because of this reserve fat. So, it can be good kapag konti lang, and especially if you know na meron kayong mga times na you are fasting, but we don't need so much of this. Hindi ito ganon kaganda because it will also carry or store, hindi lang basta extra energy, but sometimes extra toxins din sa katawan. And these fats can also produce hormone na hindi rin maganda for us. We will discuss that in a short while. So, next would be the beige fats. So, the beige fats, para siyang transition from white to brown fats. Yung beige fats, ito yung mga fats na madaling nako-convert into energy. So, paano paramihin yung beige fats? Yung beige fats, dadami sila when you expose your body into stress. At yung pinaka effective na stressor when it comes to converting a white fat into a beige fat is exercise. So exercise will induce changes sa white fats for these white fats to be easily burned. Hindi na siya magiging storage lang. So meron na siyang mobility, and this mobility will be good kasi nga nare-replenish. It will be easily converted into energy na kailangan natin, and it can also generate a lot of heat. Yung mga taong nakikita ninyong hindi masyadong tumataba or konting exercise lang, pumapayat agad-agad, they mostly have a lot of beige fats or brown fats. So, paano paramihin yung beige fats and brown fats? Merong iba't ibang strategies, one of which is exposing yourself to stress or alternate cold and hot bath. So, I know natatakot tayo mga Pinoy sa ganyan, no? Kasi sabi natin, mapapasmo tayo. But exposure to cold temperature and then meron ding exposure to hot temperature, yun actually yung nakaka-push ng ating fat cells to transition into a heat-generating cell. But if you're always exposing yourself to warmth, parati lang mainit, parati lang nagka-hot shower, ayaw magpa-aircon, sobrang baba lang. So, those might not trigger your body to produce beige fats or brown fats. So, number 5 would be subcutaneous fats. So, subcutaneous fats, it can actually be a white, a brown, or a beige fats. Kasi, or mostly white or beige fats. Because these are the ones na largely makes the bulk of our storage fat. So, ito yung mga taba na nasa ilalim ng ating skin. So, it's under our skin. So, by nature, yung mga babae, mas mataas yung kanilang subcutaneous fats. Kaya yung babaeng merong BMI na 23 as compared sa lalaking may BMI na 23, mas mataba tingnan yung babaeng na same BMI because the women mostly accumulate fats in the subcutaneous area. It is okay as long as hindi ito sobra-sobra yung taas. Yung sa mga babae, if it's 35, para siyang acceptable, but we should aim for a subcutaneous fats or general body fat percentage of less than 30. 25 to 30. 25, okay na yon. If you want to be a rank model, maybe 20% less of body fats. Pero generally, 25% body fat is already okay for females, whereas sa mga lalaki naman, 20 is already a little, medyo mataas na yon. Kasi nga, yung mga lalaki, hindi sila supposedly nag-accumulate ng subcutaneous fats. And these subcutaneous fats, kapag marami, especially sa lalaki, these are the fats that also produces estrogen. And yung mga estrogen na ito, it can have that feminizing effect. Kaya yung mga babaeng marami yung subcutaneous fat, they are more cute. Yung parang cute yung sila, chubby, because it's even more feminizing. However, kapag nag-go over na yan, nagkaroon na ng PCOS, nagkaroon na ng insulin resistance, then that is another problem. Meron na naman yung virilizing effect. So parang nagiging lalaki na naman yung mga babae, nagkakaroon ng bigote, nag-rough yung skin, nag-acne, even some nagkakaroon ng male pattern baldness, parang nakakalbo. Whereas yung mga lalaki namang matataas o malalaki yung kanilang subcutaneous fat sa katawan, they can also have that feminizing effect. Nagkakaroon ng man boobs, nagiging softer in all places, and it's because of that estrogen na nandyan sa subcutaneous fat. So subcutaneous fat is not generally bad, but it can be bad kapag sobra-sobra because we don't need so much of this, especially na hindi na naman tayo nag-undergo ng famine, starvation, at yung fasting natin, hindi naman ganun kamahahaba, just regular ones. So, we can improve that, don't worry, with our food intake. So, the next one would be the visceral fats. So, yung visceral fats, ito yung mga fats na kumukover sa ating internal organs, sa ating atay, sa ating liver, sa ating intestines, mostly intra-abdominal na mga organs, even in our heart. So, it is a bad fat because hindi siya essential at sobra-sobra nito. It's the extra fats actually na hindi kayang i-store na ng ating katawan. For fat formers, people who are fat formers, yung nag-accumulate ng subcutaneous fats, tumataas yung kanilang visceral fats kapag na-maximize na yung kanilang capacity to store fats in their subcutaneous area sa kanilang peripheral side, no, sa on the side. So, nag-accumulate sila sa visceral fats sa kanilang intra-abdominal area, sa mga organs, kapag sobra-sobrang talagang laki. That's why merong mga taong sobrang taba, pero yung kanilang visceral fats hindi ganun kataas because nandun nga sa kanilang katawan. But if they don't stop what they're doing, aabot pa rin sa panahon na yung visceral fats nila magtataas din. Whereas yung mga tao namang payat, but eating the same lifestyle na hindi magandang lifestyle, they are actually prone to have increased visceral fats more than those fat formers. Kaya merong mga tinatawag nating TOFI. Thin outside, yung kamay, paa, matatangkad, ang papayat, pero malalaki yung tiyan. So those are actually TOFI, thin outside but fat inside. And those fats are more dangerous because fat distribution in addition to these types of fats is also very, very important kung saan sila nakapirme. So our last type of fats are the blood lipids. So eto, taba pa rin sa katawan. So maraming blood lipids, and as of this point, we want to emphasize na hindi lahat ng blood lipids are bad. Hindi dahil mataas yung total cholesterol, blood lipids mo mataas, you are already in danger. No. Number one to look at would be your HDL. HDL, or high density lipoprotein, is the good fat. Okay? And then your total cholesterol, it's actually not that necessarily mean na kapag mataas yung total cholesterol mo is you are already in danger. If your total cholesterol is high, but your HDL is also high, it might be that you actually have even more protection as compared to others na normal yung blood cholesterol na total, pero yung HDL ay sobrang baba because HDL is a protective kind of blood lipid. Now, yung chine-check dyan next would be the LDL. Yung iba, hindi nila tinitingnan yung VLDL, but you can easily subtract like your total cholesterol minus HDL minus LDL. Yun actually yung VLDL mo. Yung VLDL mo is really the bad fat. So, dapat if your units is milligrams per DL, dapat below 19. Or if it's millimoles, it should be below 0.5 yung VLDL. LDL, I know ito yung controversial because for the longest time, akala natin LDL is bad. Pero sa totoo lang, LDL has different classifications pa. Merong small density and large density na LDL. And it is the small density LDL, yung parang papunta na siyang VLDL, yun yung dangerous. But if it's a large density LDL, papunta na siyang HDL, it's actually not dangerous. However, in the Philippines, wala pang masyadong qualitative measurement kung ano yung itsura ng LDL natin dito because most of our laboratories is not yet that advanced. But based on studies, based on research, people who are doing low carb have a lot of large density LDL. So, yung hindi nakakatakot na LDL. That's why it's actually not a reason to be worried about, especially na your total cholesterol na mataas, yung HDL mo na mataas, yung LDL mo na mataas is paired with low VLDL, low triglycerides, and also lowered signs of inflammation coming from too much sugar, too much insulin. Bakit na naman natin pinag-uusapan yung insulin na pinag-uusapan natin yung taba? It is because the insulin hormone is actually the one that will accumulate the bad fats. Kapag parati nating pinapataas yung insulin sa ating katawan, all the fats will be accumulated and it's mostly the bad ones, especially if you are not using all of those fats sa katawan natin. Hindi natin i-utilize. And what foods that promote insulin? It's the sugar, starch, fructose, and the seed oils, special mention, canola oil, which eventually promotes insulin resistance. So, this is the reason why eating sugar, eating too much fructose, and starchy foods can actually still increase your fats, especially the bad fats in the body. Kahit hindi kayo kumakain ng taba ng baboy, taba ng baka, coconut oil, and many more. So, if you wish to know more, we have a safe list, food list for that, JGC Rojo food list, for you to check kung ano yung mga pagkain safe para sa atin so that you will be able to improve your overall health. You are more than welcome to join. Life Without Rice for food inspirations, and of course for inspirations, motivations, questions, meron tayong low carb feasting and fasting community. For those in YouTube, nandyan po yung ating number to contact our admins in case you want to learn more about it, learn the structured and guided way in our LCF Masterclass. So, yun lang muna for now. I gotta go. Meron pa akong operation scheduled today. Mag-assist pa ako. Maraming salamat, everybody. Always remember to stay low carb so that we all stay safe. Maraming salamat.